Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Dr. Mohamad Akram Laldin. I'm the instructor for the course SH1003 Shariah Rules in Financial Transactions. Basically, this is an important element in the CIFP course that is offered by INSEF, in which the student is expected to learn particularly topics related to Shariah contracts that is being applied in Islamic finance. As we all aware that Islamic finance is an important subject nowadays, and when we talk about Islamic finance, it is supported by the various contracts that is available and that is being applied in the industry nowadays. So the objective of this course basically is for the students to understand in depth, the different contract, whether it is the exchange contracts that is being used, the partnership contracts that is being used, and other types of contracts that is applicable in Islamic finance, and in order for them to understand all the Sharia rules, as well as what are the constraints that is applicable in this course. Of course, this course is not going to explain very much on the application of the contract, as the application will be delivered or will be addressed in some other courses. But what is important in this course is about the fundamentals of Sharia. Now, when we talk about the contracts in Islamic finance, of course, it is not something which is difficult for you to understand. I believe that those who are familiar with Islamic finance, you have already heard about the different type of contracts, the murabaha contract, the ijara contract, and whatnot. So these are among the contract that is going to be addressed in this course. On top of that, of course, we have some other contract that I will explain to you later on. Now, in terms of the learning outcome of these contracts, at the end of the course, the students are expected to understand what are the different rulings related to the different type of contracts that is going to be learned in this course. So it is expected that, you see, in the application of the contracts, whenever the student try to apply these contracts into the different products in Islamic finance, the student is expected to know that what are the requirements in order for the contract to be validly applied in the different instruments of Islamic finance. So that's what is expected from the students to the end of the course. Now let me explain to you briefly about the different type of contracts that is going to be addressed in this course. The first one is the sale-based contract, in which I believe that most of you would have heard about the contract of murabaha. You see, in which in the contract of murabaha, of course, we will start with the definition of murabaha, what are the different conditions of the contract of murabaha, and also how the contract of murabaha can be applied, what are the different requirements that is needed in the contract of murabaha. And of course, the course also will give some indication about the different type of products that is available in the market in which murabaha is being applied, what kind of products in which murabaha can be used, the contract of murabaha can be used. Apart from that, the sources of laws, the condition of murabaha, and also the different types of murabaha will also be discussed, and also what are the important elements that is required in the documentation of murabaha will also be discussed. Now, after the second topic that is going to be discussed in this course is the different types of sales. You see, apart from murabaha, there is what is called as bay' bithaman ajil, or it is very much familiarly been known as BBA in the Malaysian context. Again, the definition, the legality, the modus operandi, as well as the different application of BBA will also be looked into. And on top of that, of course, the other sale-based contract which is also being used in the industry is what is termed as the tawarruk arrangement, okay, where there are three parties that is involved in the transactions. So this also will be discussed, and of course with the requirements and whatnot of this course. The other contract that is going to be discussed is the contract of ijara. Ijara is the lease contract. Okay, again, in discussing ijara, the definition of ijara will be addressed. What are the sources of the contract of ijara? What are the different types of ijara that is applicable? What are the requirements when it comes to applying ijara? What are the kind of underlying asset that can be used in the ijara contract? So all this will be addressed in the topic related to ijara. Apart from ijara, I mean, there will be some future sales contract which involve salam contract, how salam contract is being applied, what are the requirements for salam contract apart from the definition, and the usual condition of the salam contract will also be discussed. Now, after discussing salam contract, the following contract that will be addressed is the istisna contract. Now, istisna contract is a manufacturing contract in which it is also being used commonly by some of the Islamic financial institutions, particularly when it comes to products that require it to be manufactured, in which it is required to be financed through manufacturing contract. So again, the different definition as well as all the requirements of istisna will be discussed in this contract. Now, apart from those type of contracts, the other important type of contract that will be discussed is the partnership contract, which involve, I mean, two types of the well-known contract, which is mudarabah as well as the musharaka contracts. So again, I mean, these two contracts will be discussed in terms of the definitions, what are the requirements, and how this type of contract can be applied and when it can be applied, apart from what are required in the documentation of this contract when it comes to the drafting the legal documents for this type of contract. Towards the end, we will be discussing about the security-based contract, which involve the contract of rahan, the contract of kafala. I mean, these are the two type of contract, I mean, the securities type of contract, which will be discussed again. The legality, the definition, the legality, all the requirement of this type of contract will be discussed. And in addition to these two type of contract, towards the end of the course, the contract of hawala, some term it as hiwala, okay, particularly when it comes to currency transactions. Okay, this contract is being used widely also by some of the financial institution, particularly in transferring a fund between institutions. So again, the hiwala contract will be discussed in terms of its definitions, conditions, requirement, how it is being applied on the ground. At the end, the discussion will be on wakala contract, that is the agency-ship contract, okay, in terms of the definition and all the other requirements. And finally, the end or the last contract that will be discussed is the wadi'ah contract, and it will be discussed in terms of again the definition and all the requirement of the cost, the wadi'ah contract. So I hope, I mean, with that I mean, you will benefit from the program, inshallah, and I hope all the best for all of you, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, okay, in acquiring the knowledge. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.